Hello, my name is Manera. I'm a women's health physiotherapist, and I'm also the co-founder of the Made for Women workout series. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do Kegels. Research shows that at least 30% of women are doing Kegels wrong. In my practice, I actually find that those numbers are a lot higher. People tend to either use the wrong muscles, they may be bearing down instead of lifting their muscles up, or they may not be contracting hard enough to produce any noticeable change in strength. So I wanted to create this video once and for all to help more women become successful at strengthening their pelvic floors. Okay, before we begin, there are a few words of caution. So the first thing is, even though I'm going to be teaching you how to do Kegels and how to turn on your pelvic floor, the only way for you to really know how to do this is by seeing a pelvic floor physiotherapist. They can do an internal exam which can tell you what you're actually doing with those muscles, and they'll tell you which cues work best for you. The second thing is that you don't want to be doing Kegels on the toilet. When you're peeing, your muscles have to relax in order to let the urine flow out. So when you're contracting your pelvic floor, when you're on the toilet, you're actually confusing the communication happening between your pelvic floor, your bladder, and your brain. And this could lead to incomplete emptying, so you don't want to do that. The third point is that strength is not the only important thing. Yes, having a strong pelvic floor is important, but you need to have good pelvic floor endurance as well. And you need to know that the pelvic floor works in coordination with a group of other core muscles. So timing and coordination of the pelvic floor is important also. The fourth point, some women actually have pelvic floor muscles that are too tight. And if this is the case, you might be experiencing painful intercourse, low back pain, pelvic pain, urinary urgency, and urinary frequency. So if this sounds like you should not be doing Kegels. Instead, you should be learning how to lengthen your pelvic floor. So this takes me to my last point, which is you must let go of every contraction that you do. If you don't let go of your pelvic floor after each contraction, your muscles can become tight. Tight muscles become dysfunctional and they don't work optimally. So make sure you let go after each Kegel that you do. Okay, let's get started. So in order to contract your pelvic floor, you need to know where it is. So to locate your pelvic floor, sit on a firm chair and lean over onto one side and feel the bone that you're sitting on. It's called the sits bone or the ischial tuberosity. Lean over to the other side and feel the other bone that you're sitting on as well. And just know that the pelvic floor sits in between these two bones. And I'll show this to you on our model here. So the pelvic floor sits between the two bones of the ischial tuberosities here. Also, you can place your hands on the front of your body and feel your pubic bone, and then locate your tailbone in the back. The pelvic floor sits in between these two bones as well, from front to back. The pubic bone is here, and the tailbone is here. As you can see, the pelvic floor seals off the bottom of the pelvis. What you can also appreciate from this model is that there are three openings. There are the urethral opening, the vaginal opening, and the anal sphincter, which is down here. And I use the words front, middle, and back to describe these areas respectively. And it is important for you to strengthen all aspects of the pelvic floor. The key to doing this successfully is by using the right cue and by using visualization. And at the end of this video, I'm going to post a list of different cues that you can try out. They're also going to be made available on our website also. Okay, let's get started and let's try out some of these cues together. So for the front, again, that is where the urethral opening is. Imagine that you were sitting on a toilet and peeing. Imagine trying to stop the flow of urine. And then let the stream start again. That's perfect. For the middle, again, that's the vaginal opening. Imagine that you have a blueberry sitting right outside of the vaginal opening, and you're going to lift the blueberry all the way up into the vagina. and then let the blueberry fall back down. That's great. Okay, let's try a cue for the back. Again, that is the anal sphincter. Imagine that you now have a marble sitting right outside of the anal sphincter, and you're going to lift the marble in and up into the rectum, and then let that marble fall back down. That's perfect. Now, you might notice that when you're contracting the different parts of your pelvic floor, that the other areas are coming on as well. This is normal because they all work together. However, you should be able to bias your contraction so that you're contracting a little bit more in the front or the middle or the back, depending on what you're doing. Okay, go ahead and practice these various cues and try locating those different parts of your pelvic floor. Then come back, because then I'm going to show you how to take your Kegels to the next level. Okay, now that you know how to turn on the front, the middle, and the back aspects of your pelvic floor, now we need to take those Kegels to the next level. So the thing you need to know about doing a Kegel is that there's the beginning of the contraction and then there's the end of the contraction. So just like you're going to the gym and you're lifting a weight, such as a bicep curl, there is the beginning of that contraction, which is down here, and then there's the end. In order for you to get stronger, you need to take your muscle through the whole range. So when you're doing a Kegel, go ahead and contract using whichever cue that you're using. Could be stopping the flow of urine, lifting the marble, or lifting a blueberry. It doesn't matter. Whichever one that you're doing, begin it, and then go ahead right to the very end of your Kegel. We don't know where that is, but just take it to the end point of your contraction. And whatever you do, don't let go. That is the point that you need to work. That is the point that is the most important part of the contraction because it is the weakest part of the contraction. And you know just by going to the gym that when you get tired, you can't stop. You have to push further. So when it comes to doing your Kegel, take yourself to the end and stay there. Don't let go. Try to just stay there for a few more seconds and keep sending more and more signals down to your pelvic floor. Keep telling it to contract harder. Keep telling it to contract more. See if you can add anything more onto that contraction. And then when you feel like you can't do anything else and you've done as best as you can, then you can let go. So go ahead and try that for all of the cues that you have. You'll notice some work better, some don't, and that's okay. That's normal. But the important point is you need to know where you want to work, and the work is done at the end of your contraction. Okay, so there you have it. You know how to get your pelvic floor muscles stronger. Go ahead and try that for a few minutes. Try that first in a lying down position. Lying down makes it easier for your muscles to contract. And once you're comfortable with that, you can move on to sitting, and then you can move on to standing. You want to sit or stand in an upright position, keeping a slight curve into your lower back. These muscles turn on better when you're sitting in those postures or standing in that kind of posture. Okay, I hope this video has helped you to work your Kegels a little bit better than what you're currently doing, and I hope you get stronger with it. If you are struggling at all in any way, I really suggest that you go see a pelvic floor physiotherapist. They can help you and determine which cues work best for you. And I guess that's it for now. Just go ahead and try that out, and good luck.